everyone, welcome to my channel Sinner's Dream. I'm Lady Ariel and I am here for a full moon in Sagittarius message. So we have a full moon in Sagittarius on June 11, okay, which is tomorrow. And I want you all to just be prepared and to just tap into what's going on, okay? So I want you to actually look up your rising sign, okay? Look at your rising sign, listen to your rising sign first, and then you can go back and listen to your sun sign, okay? So you're gonna have multiple messages, in this video. So I want you just to pay attention and look at those messages, okay? And see if it resonates with you. If it does resonate, leave me a comment below so I can, chat with you, all right? So we're gonna start off with Sagittarius. So if you're a Sagittarius sun or rising, this full moon is going to be transiting your first house, okay? The first house is all about the self-identity, the ego, and also the first house is ruled by Aries. So you want to make sure that you are paying attention to, things that's going on with your head, making sure you're not going out there being too hot-headed and making, decisions when you're not thinking clearly. So that's something that you want to look out for. But majority of this full moon is going to be focusing on self, okay? How do you see yourself? Okay, are you hindering yourself from becoming who you are truly meant to be? Are you hiding who you truly are? So those are some things to think about with this full moon in Sagittarius, okay? This is a moon that is expansive. It's going to expand things, all right? So this is not the time to play small, okay? You might want to change up your look. You might want to, switch up some things in your wardrobe. All of those are positive things for you to do for this full moon, okay? Next, we're going to move on to Scorpio, okay? Scorpio, this full moon is going to be transiting your second house, okay? You want to pay attention to your throat. Make sure you're like drinking, extra teas. You may have allergies that might flare up. Check in on your thyroid, all right? As well as vocalizing the things that you need, okay? Paying attention to your values, all right? You may find an abundance in your finances, okay? Or, property, resources, all of those are, prone to expand at this time since Sagittarius is in this area, okay? So again, Scorpio, I want you to really, really pay attention to your throat, okay? Exercising your throat chakra, okay? Now we're going to move on to Libra. Libra, this full moon in Sagittarius is going to be transiting your third house, okay? Your third house of communication, all right? The sun is in Gemini, so that's like that extra energy. So Libra, making sure you're exercising, communicate, how you're communicating with your siblings, how are you communicating with your neighbor, how are you communicating with your community as a whole, okay? Pay attention to your hands, your arms, and as well as your lungs, okay, around this time. If you're a smoker, drinking some extra teas and stuff like that, or just making sure you're really caring for your lungs, all right? And be very careful around, moving too quickly. You might injure your hands or your arms. So just be careful in that area, okay? Now we're going to move on to Virgo. Virgo, this Sagittarius full moon is going to be transiting your fourth house, okay? Your fourth house of home, all right? This is the time for you to really tap into your ancestry, okay? Tap into your family. Sit down with the elders in your family and talk to them. Ask them about, their family, okay? I am a Virgo moon, and I actually did that today. I spent the whole day with my dad, and all we did was talk about his country, talk about him growing up. We talked about the elders in his family. It was just a really good, time. We spent hours just talking. You learn things about your family. You learn things about your history that can, be passed down, all right? Tap it into your ancestry. Also, pay attention to your stomach and your breast, okay? If you are a woman and, breast cancer runs in your family, go and get a mammogram, go get tested, making sure, if you're in the shower, you're doing those self-checks, all right? Stomach, okay, making sure that you're eating things and drinking things that's gonna help settle your stomach. If you need to do a colonic around this time, do so. and just making sure you're paying attention to what you are eating, okay, what you're ingesting, okay, because your stomach is your second brain. All right, that's what I have for Virgo risings. All right, now we're going to move on to the Leos. Leos, this Sagittarius full moon is going to be transiting your fifth house, okay, your fifth house of fun, romance, okay. You may be having, someone special stop by, or you might be the one that's special that's stopping by. So this is a time to really, you may have been working a lot, and it's time to just let your hair down, have some fun, okay? Play around children. If you have children, take them somewhere. Tap in. This might be also a time where you might, be very fertile. So, yes. All right, so now we're going to move on to Cancers. Cancers, this Sagittarius full moon is going to be trans sixth house of, work, routine, small pets, okay? So you may want a small pet or something. You want to get some for your kids, or get one for yourself or something like that. Or things might be going on, something might be going on with your work. Maybe you want to expand a work project or a business idea or something, or maybe you want to change jobs. So that's something to think about. Health wise, you want to pay attention to your intestines, okay? So making sure you're getting that checked out. If you need to do some kind of cleanse, some kind of parasite cleanse, something to think about doing, you would greatly benefit from that for this full moon, okay? Next, we're going to move on to Gemini. Gemini season. Happy birthday, Geminis. This Gemini, this full moon is going to be transiting your seventh house, okay? This Sagittarius full moon. So the seventh house is all about partnerships, okay? Whether it be romantic or business partnerships. This full moon is really telling you to just tap in, okay? Making sure you're checking to make sure things are balanced. Are things balanced in your relationship? Are you giving more than you are receiving, or is it the other way around? This is a house that likes to have that balance, okay? And if it's unbalanced, it's going to be in its lower level, and we don't want that. We want it to be in the higher octaves, okay? So we can reap the benefits. So pay attention to your partnerships at this time and making sure those are really balanced, okay? So now we're going to move on to Taurus. Taurus, this Sagittarius full moon. Let me go back to Gemini. Gemini, make sure you're paying attention to your kidneys, okay? If you're someone that's a heavy drinker or something like that, going to get your kidneys checked, okay? Check for kidney stones. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water, Geminis, okay? Now we're going to move on to Taurus. Taurus, this Sagittarius full moon is going to be transiting your eighth house, okay? Your eighth house. Eighth house is all about the hidden, the occult. You may be trying to tap into that, or you might want to tap into any kind of like astrology or occult or anything like that. Something that you've been, the mysteries, okay? You may be even into like those movies or TV shows like Law and Order or something like that, or anything of that sort. You're interested, you're intrigued by it. Definitely tap in, because it might be some messages that you can receive, that you can benefit from at this time. Also pay attention to your sex organs, okay? This will be a great time to get tested. If you are sexually active, go get tested. Have your partner go get tested. Anything like it has to do with like your cervix, fibroids and whatnot, go get that checked out, okay? This will be the perfect time to do it. We have Aries Sun, Aries rising. This Sagittarius full moon is going to be transiting your ninth house, okay? Ninth house is ruled by Sagittarius. So therefore, you are probably going to be traveling this weekend, or traveling around this full moon, or maybe somebody's going to come see you, okay? Sagittarius is all about that traveling, foreign lands and whatnot. Even higher learning, higher education. Have you been thinking about going back to school? Have you been thinking about, a trade or whatnot? Go and do that. Go get that certificate. Go get that extra knowledge that you need to expand your pockets, okay? So you could also see an expansion in your funds as well. Health-wise, you want to pay attention to your hips, your thighs. Just making sure that, I don't know, maybe you're going to do some extra squats or something, or just making sure that you have some circulation going on over there. If you are traveling, make sure you're moving, okay? If you're going on a long ride, making sure you're stopping, taking a break, moving your legs and whatnot, and just make sure, you know, that circulation is going, okay? That's what I have for Aries, Sun, and Rising. Next, we have Pisces. Pisces, Sun, and Rising. This Sagittarius full moon is going to be transiting your 10th house, okay? 10th house is ruled by Capricorn. Capricorn is all about the career, okay? Are you thinking about changing careers? Are you looking for a mentor? Are you thinking about being a mentor to someone? Someone could really use your expertise, or you use their expertise. So don't be afraid. Get out there, put yourself out there. And get the mentorship that you need, all right? Health-wise, focus on your knees, okay? If you're someone who works a lot, you work around a lot, like doing standing a lot, walking around, making sure that, you know, you're protecting your knees, okay? We need our knees. We do. So that's what I have for Pisces, Sun, and Rising. Next, we have Aquarius. Aquarius, Sun, and Rising. This Sagittarius full moon is going to be transiting your 11th house. And 11th house is actually ruled by Aquarius. You know, Aquarius is all about social, you know, being social, hanging with your friends, having good social networks. You may be someone that is going to be putting yourself out there. You're going to meet up with your friends, your social circles, or your friends can put you in better positions. It's all about who you know, not what you know. So this can be really beneficial for you around this Sagittarius full moon, okay? Health-wise, pay attention to your calves, your ankles. You're someone who would probably benefit greatly from like compression socks. Again, you know, making sure you're just taking care of your body as a whole. Okay, Capricorn, last but not least, this full moon in Sagittarius is going to be transiting your 12th house, okay? The 12th house is all about the hidden, the unseen, the dream world, the subconscious, all of that. So you may be feeling like you want to, you know, be in a little bit of a hermit mode right now. You want to go within, which is good. You know, that's always a good thing. So take your time at this time. If you are a dreamer, you're someone who gets a lot of prophetic messages or just visions and you know, messages in your dreams, it will be a great idea for you to get my dream journal. I'm going to put it in the description box so you can see what the messages are trying to tell you. But this is a time to really, you know, you can be in hermit mode, but don't do it to a fault or at your detriment, okay? Don't shut yourself so far in that you are, because this is a house that is can deal with like a lot of addictions too. So make sure you're not overly, you know, you guys get what I'm trying to say, okay? Just take care of yourself. If you need to talk to someone, talk to someone. If you need to reach out to a therapist or a close friend, someone that you trust, okay? Sit there and talk them, you know, talk your emotions through, because it's going to be really emotional time for you, Capricorn, okay? You're someone who tends to, you know, dive into your work and you know, put that first. But right now, you know, it's really asking you to tap in, to really check in with yourself, ask yourself, hey, how am I doing? Okay, how am I really doing? Okay, and being honest with yourself. So journaling is really going to help you with that, okay? So that's all I have. Oh, and pay attention to your feet, okay, health-wise. Making sure, you know, you're not walking outside barefooted, you know, protecting your feet at this time. This will be a good time for you to get a pedicure, get your feet massaged and stuff like that. So that's all I have for everyone. Please leave a comment if this resonates. Again, this full moon in Sagittarius is going to be transiting in on April 11th, okay? So tap in, you guys. Let me know if it resonates with you all. Thank you for watching. Much love to you all. Peace.
I was waiting till the sky was falling, held my breath till every single star had a light.